I have a PR firm here in Dallas. It's called Heyday PR. And the reason why I chose that name is because heyday, it means your greatest moment of success. And so we're all about sharing your story. I actually did the Michael Brown rally. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with that. We had a huge Michael Brown rally in downtown Dallas in 2014, and I did the public relations and press releases for that. And so my PR firm offers crisis management, and the reason why I'm very passionate about crisis management is because my uncle, he had a scandal. He was in the NFL, and so I like to focus on really keeping your image clean and keeping it free from smears, and also publicity, getting your story out, making sure that you as an artist are upholding yourself, upholding your image. And so branding, brand development, website designs, and the list goes on. And so public relations is basically public relations and publicity, and we just want to get your story out. That's what it's all about. It's just sharing your story. Here you go, Nina. Oh, sorry.
Hi, my name is Nina Zavala, and I've been in the PR business probably for about 8 years now. I actually started in the music industry. My very first client was Duro. From there, I worked with various music artists, then transitioned into sports, where I was the public relations director for 50 NFL football players, including Deion Sanders. So I kind of just had a long journey within this. I left the agency and started my own company, where I primarily focus on event PR.
Hi everyone, I hope everyone's having a great night. My name is Sarah Badran, and my company is called Creative Currency PR. I first got my start, I guess I've been in it for close to 8 years now. I got my degree at UNT in PR and Strategic Communications. And since then I've mostly focused in entertainment and music. Some of you guys might know me. I was a director for Raw Dallas for 3 years, and so I did those shows. I like to focus on big cultural events and statements. I did the Straight Outta Dallas event with Erykah Badu and DOC about 2 years ago, and I love getting to work with COSIGN. I've gotten to do 2 of their anniversaries as well too. And right now I'm working with the world famous Tony Williams. I work with Sick With It, True Death, who else? DJ Christy Ray, DJ Mike B, several people. I like to take different projects. I'm mostly focused in events. I like to create creative concepts to help get your brand out there, and also make sure that your story is being told as well too.
I actually started interning for a magazine similar to COSIGN's. It was called Unsigned the Magazine. Through that internship, it opened many doors for me. Gave me a lot of experience, especially working on the side of receiving content. It really taught me how to pitch, how these, I would, like, for instance, if music artists were sending in their, sending in their albums to be, for me to review them, I would look at the packaging, I would look at what they wrote, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would never do this. I wouldn't even consider it. So it was things like that I learned along the way of what not to do. So then when I crossed over to the other side, I knew how to maneuver within the PR aspect of pitching my clients.
I would say that you should probably do an internship if you're interested in public relations. I actually worked for ESPN Radio in Houston, Texas, and I worked in their marketing and their promotions department. I also worked for K104 back in 2013. And so I would say, in order to start with public relations, you want to kind of get your feet wet. You want to make sure that you have a good mentor. And so it's just best to kind of get the experience before you just jump off and say, okay, I want my own PR firm, because you really have to know what you're doing. You really have to know how it works, and it's very strategic. And it's good to have a mentor. It's good to actually have an internship or a reputable company to put on your resume.
And I'm just going to piggyback on that. I absolutely agree with everything they said. I did several internships. Up until even just 2 years ago is when I even stopped interning, because you can never stop learning, and I would suggest making all the mistakes you can early before you try to take on your own brand and your own clients. So I actually started at Hotel Zaza That was my first internship, and then that led into a position. And then I worked for a boutique firm out here called Culture High PR, and I've also interned for Universal Music Group, which gave me a lot of my music background as well too.
Volunteering. So volunteering, immersing yourself within your community to just get some background knowledge of public relations. And so volunteering never hurts anybody.